today's the day of the race. We're currently on our way to the track, and the track is Magic Valley Speedway up in Twin Falls, Idaho, because we're heading north. That's why it's up. Let's see. Gates open at 1. Practice is from 2 to 4. And the events, of course, are after practice. I don't know the times of the events yet. It's probably like qualifying and then racing, you know, just the usual stuff. So we've been in the car since 8 in the morning, and we've been here for 3 hours, and it's kind of boring because there's no music, because no one put on the music.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then it's just a straight road and nothing to look at.
So, Russell, what have you been doing?
I was trying to edit the Alaska video, but then I fell asleep. What do you think happens when you stay up till 1 in the morning watching John Wick or something?
I know.
There's something interesting. Look over there. It's I don't know. Can you see it? It's a little crop duster plane. Let's see. There, the yellow thing. That. Something interesting. Finally.
Beer on the wall. 67 bottles of beer on the wall. 67 bottles of beer.
You take one down, you pass it around. 66 bottles of beer on the wall. 66 bottles of beer on the wall. 66 bottles of beer. You take one down, you pass it around.
A few moments later.
4 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 2 to 3 bottles of beer on the wall.
So we're almost at the track. It's actually over there, and it's a fun little track. Like, lots of people show up, and it's awesome. The one thing I don't really like about it is the pits in it are so tiny. It's super hard to like get the truck with the trailer in. But once it's in, you can't get out until basically everyone has left, or because then you're gonna hit something if you don't. So yeah, basically, try to be one of the first people there, and end up being one of the last out. Kind of that happens, and you got the gigantic trailer in a tiny pit area. But it's actually really fun. I actually won a heat race here last year, and I also got 3rd place in a main event. I got a schedule here, and so it is Project Filter Night according to this. Gates open at 1. We're already here, as you can tell. Practice is from 2 to 4. 3 o'clock, gates open for everyone. Estimated times, 4:30 is where driver's meeting should happen. Let's see. Then at 5:20 is for practice of the legends. 5:55 is another practice. Then qualifying is at 6:30. Then the heat race, 7:10. The national anthem around 7:55, and 8:15 is the Snake River Legends main event. As you can tell, my face is in a very awkward angle right now. It's because my dad is braiding my hair.
Real dads braid hair. I'm crew chief, mechanic, bank roller, and hairstylist. Okay, so here's the deal with these race seaver things. You gotta put a new battery in it
every single race, no matter what. Even if you didn't use it last race or whatever, you need batteries. This is because they tend to die if you don't replace the battery at the beginning of a race day. If you don't replace the battery, it's going to die in the main event, and then you're not going to be able to hear whatever the tower receiver people say. I don't even know what they call them at this track, but the people in charge of like telling you what to do while you're on the track through this thing, if you don't change the battery, you are toast. You have to start the car before practice and stuff, because then you can make sure it actually runs, idles, and that stuff. And also, you gotta get it up to temperature before practice because it makes the engine run better or something. Yeah, basically, this is what you do. You pull the car, you start it up. But if you don't, it's gonna cause trouble and be annoying and impossible to deal with. Okay, so I'm just chilling in the car. And there are a few things I'd like to show. So here we have a tachometer type thing, and it just tells what RPM I have in the car. I've got my temperature gauge for my water temperature gauge. This is my gear indicator. This is my neutral indicator. It shines green when it's in neutral. I don't know if you can see it because of all the light, but it is green right now. This red thing here is the light that turns on when you're like low on oil or something, and it's kind of like an oil light. When you have when you're doing a left turn, it tends to turn on because of weird gravity and inertia physics stuff that I don't like or understand. Let's see, this thing here is like the main power switch. Like if you have it flipped off, it doesn't really, you can't turn on the car, you can't do anything other than just switch the gears and stuff. This is my gear handlebar thing, and down here I have my communicating thing that I can use to contact my dad when we have the radio set up so that we can talk to each other. This is like my power switch for like getting the fuel and stuff to run, and this is my starter switch. There's the gas, the brake, the clutch, obviously, and there's a gigantic purple steering wheel. Dad, take this. I don't need it ruined. It's like very special.
So it's been about a year since we've been to this track, and with that we're not 100% sure on the setup. We're just kind of got a baseline for it to give it a shot, see how it handles, put a few laps in practice. We got here early, so we're in the first practice group before the crowds get here. Learn what the car's doing, see how it handles. Car looks to be a little bit loose on entry, a little slow getting on the throttle, but doing pretty good, but not bad. Small adjustments, I think.
Clutch, or I let it idle, it doesn't idle anymore.
Okay, we can adjust the throttle bodies again behind the, throttle bodies.
Okay. Do the same thing you did last time to fix it.
Okay. You looked a little bit loose on entry.
Maybe. I wasn't going that fast yet. It was just a warm-ups.
Okay.
I was only given a few laps though, because you know they're only having one at a time and all that. So.
Okay. So we had a little wedge adjustment just to tighten the car up a little bit. See if that gets rid of some of the looseness she's been feeling as she enters the turns. See what happens here. So we got the throttle bodies adjusted. Now it seems to idle a lot better. And yeah, we'll see how it goes on this time out. Okay, talk to me. What's the car doing?
Well, it's pushing on exit, but it's sliding on entry. I just think I need to change my line. Probably a later entry. And yeah.
Okay, sounds good. It's tight on exit, you said?
Yeah, but it's loose on entry, so I think I should just, you know, change my line.
Okay, let's experiment with something. Work your line a little bit different, but let's make one more small adjustment, see what that does, okay? Okay, so the car was really fast early in the run, and then it slowed down and you started having your hands full. How was it? How did it feel?
Oh, now you can see my face. Anyway, so with the thing, like it was doing good at first, but then it like lost control. Like it got loose.
Got loose? Okay.
It got looser, and I think because of the heat, because of that weird reverse physics stuff that happens when it's hot.
Okay, sounds good. I know what to do. I want you to work on your line a little bit. I want you to stay higher and in the throttle longer. Brake a little bit, a hair harder, and don't exit as low. Exit higher, run the high line, kind of that middle line. You're coming down onto the apron past the apex, and that's upsetting the car on exit a little bit.
Okay.
So you can get on the throttle a little sooner or carry a little more speed through the corner if you run a little bit higher line with a little bit later entry.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, can I have a Gatorade?
You got it.
Doing this thing where it's wonderful at the beginning of the run when it's tighter, but then as the tires heat up, it's getting looser and looser. And so after 7 or 8 laps, I think I don't know if it's 7 or 8, I can't really count when I'm driving. However, it gets super loose all of a sudden and it's horrible, which is why we are changing some springs to see if that'll help. Is over, and we just came back from driver's meeting. We were talking about a weird yellow line thing that I am not the only one confused on that. My dad's confused on it, and there are a few other people who are too. It's kind of confusing because the only yellow line there is where we're required to go if we're going to get anywhere. So yeah, that's confusing. However, during practice we made a bunch of adjustments and stuff, and stuff didn't really seem to work. So basically the baseline we have slight tightening of the car, and it works really well. It's faster when it's loose, actually, but when it's loose, it just slides everywhere, which is annoying. And then when it's tighter, when the car is tighter, it'll push every once in a while, but it actually handles a lot better, and I don't need to catch it every time I even do something. But so we basically put the car back to how it was originally, with just a very slight tightening adjustment. And we've got the normal practices next, then qualifying, and then there's like the heat race, then the race, and
we're only about 2/10 off of where we want to be, right?
yeah, we're only 2/10 off of where we need to be. And that's what over half the people, no, a little less than over half the people, a little less than half the people are running that, so yeah.
Okay, go out there, have fun, enjoy your race, kick some butt. Okay, official practice starting. Roxley's coming on the track. We got a few other cars in the mix with her. To get the last session in before qualifying today. We've experimented a little bit more. We have a good baseline, so we know what we're going to go to if this last test doesn't work. Yeah, she's doing good. She's about a 2/10 off, faster car, better than about half. Still looking good. She's going to be competitive in the race. I think it's a combination of setup and also a combination of the line that she's running, but I think that's the line is she's pinching the exit on turn 2, but I think that's because the car's pitching around on her too much. So we just got to figure out what's going on there eventually, but we'll stick with what it is. The car will do well in the race. It's just gonna see how it does, for qualifying when you're trying to put a solo lap together. It's not as fast as you are when you're in traffic, though the car's going to handle great in traffic the way it's set up, so it's a tough decision. Okay, we'll see how she does.
Alright, so we're qualifying. I qualified quite well. I'm in the second heat race, first row outside, and so that'll be interesting to do. Then, so like the temperature dropped like an insane amount in a short amount of time. So the car actually tightened up like crazy, and now it doesn't steer, and so we made a few adjustments so that it does steer for the main and the heat race and all that. And hopefully everything goes well.
So a heat race, a short race, usually dividing the field into multiple groups. With that, they're going to run smaller groups. It's used for help with determining qualifying positions after the actual qualifying times. So they're going to come together. Roxley is not in this heat. She will be in the one that follows. But we're going to film this so you get a chance to see what actually goes down for a heat race. In the lead here, followed by Jonathan Davis. Got Cameron Battles on the outside. Nico Heinzel looking for something on the inside. Ken Fricky bringing up the rear. Nico's got position. Jonathan takes the lead. Oh, Randy can hold on to it on the outside, looks like. It's drag race to the line. This is a really good one for you guys. 2 laps to go, 2 laps. Jonathan Davis now in the lead. Nico Heinzel followed. Randy Copeland's falling behind on the outside as Ken Fricke falls in below him. Cameron Battles now in the rear. Jonathan Davis holds on to that lead position, goes a little high. Randy Copeland sliding at the time side, but keeps his third place spot. Jonathan Davis is holding off Nico, but not for long. Nico makes a move to the inside, but that high side is usually faster. We'll see what happens. Jonathan's still got a hair on him, but not much. Looks like Nico's got the pass now, finally. White flag out, 1 to go. Nico Heinzel, Jonathan Davis, side by side. Ken Fricke on the outside. Randy Copeland and Cameron Battles bringing up the rear. Cameron trying to make a move to the outside as Ken Fricke takes a third place spot. Nico Heinzel, followed by Jonathan Davis, Ken Fricke, Randy Copeland, and then Cameron Battles.
Front stretch this time. Let's give a round of applause. Your heat race winner, the number 12. It's his first time
Okay, following that heat comes Ruxley's heat. This is a smaller group due to car count. We've got Chance and Davis at the on the pole. Roxley Kamper is going to be on the outside, row 1. Got Leon Tridell on the inside in the 3 position, row 2. And then Jerry Davis in the 50. And he's going to be the second row outside behind Roxley. I think the announcers got it wrong. They're saying that Chance and Jonathan are brothers, but that's not true. It's actually, that Chance and Jerry are brothers. That is true. Jerry's the father. Jonathan and Chance are brothers. They bring a whole slew of cars every single race in order for the whole family to compete. Saw that Jerry Davis smashed his car up pretty good at Meridian last week. And they're coming to the line. It's a little hairy sometimes on those starts. That outside line can be faster sometimes. And Jerry's pushing on the back. Looking for opportunity. Still stuck on that high side, doesn't have room to come down yet. Starting to close in on Chance. Chance now in the lead. Russell up in the number 2 position. All the track. Jerry sliding, and fortunately everybody makes it through without mishap. See if Jerry can fire it up. No, and Jerry is going to pull out the caution. I think we're going to have 4 or 5 laps to go with that. So the restart's going to look identical to the initial start. That was a good job by Leon to dive underneath there and avoid contact when Jerry got sideways in the middle of the turn. It's real hard when you're coming from the back. Jerry's got a really fast car, and he definitely had more speed than Roxley going into the turn, but yeah, you got to avoid contact as well. They're lined up. I think we're going to go green at the line. And they're going. This time, Russell gets a little bit of an advantage on the outside. Like we said before, that outside line can work. It's a drag race. Jerry tries to go low. As Leon moves up, Jerry makes a move on Russell to the inside, forcing him up. They get a little hairy here. And Russell battling Jerry side by side. And just can't get a chance. This is a real show for Jerry comes up, slides up, Leon spins to avoid the action, Russell falls to the third, and they come through. Russell trying to make a move on the outside. Nowhere to go. And we come in with Chance, Jerry, and then Russell and Kamper. Followed by Leon.
So the heat race went well. I feel like it could have done better, but I mean, hey, at least the car's in one piece. That's always the important part. It's gonna be like a really intense race, and that's because like even the heat race was very intense. There were a few times I messed up because I slowed down because I thought I was gonna hit something or crash into something, and yeah, oops, turns out I was completely fine. I just slight errors in judgment. It's common for me to do that. But so everyone's running pretty similar times. It's not a crazy difference in between the cars, and so this main event's gonna be intense.
Yeah, so everyone is within 1/10 of each other, so it's just a jumble of cars, and it's gonna be exciting.
What he said.
Outside, second row.
Cool. All right, so we're gonna fuel the car now for the main event. Basically, you pull open the container. I hope that was an obvious thing you have to do, because if not, I'm concerned. Then you just do that. You just click the thing with the thing in there and it works. We usually fuel it up until above the foam thing. Can you see the foam thing? Let's see. That's not helping there. Let you know there that sparkly stuff down there, that's the foam. There, I'll reset me.
And this is a 30 lap event, so we're gonna go to the hair above the foam today. About an inch.
Yeah. So you just fuel it. And this is either really fast or takes forever. Depends on how much fuel you used. And it's now it's just pre-race maintenance checks, and then it's ready to go. Right, Dad?
That's right. Okay, here we are lining up for the main event. As the legends enter the track here at Magic Valley Speedway. Nice car going around. We have Randy Copeland on the pole. We have Chance Davis on the outside. different battles on the inside. Roxley Kamper on the outside, number 4 position. We have Jonathan Davis, who's in number 5 position, followed by Leon Trudell. Then we have Ken Fricke, Jonathan Davis on the outside, and bringing up in the back, we have Nico Heinzel. All these cars in their heat races ran within 1/10 of a second of each other, so this is going to be an interesting race. Nico's waiting off, thinking something crazy is going to happen, and they go to the green. There's Davis across the camera trying to make a move on the outside around Randy Copeland. Looks like they're going to make it around. Trydell makes a move to the outside as well. Outside, Chance Davis, not going to happen. She comes down low. Randy Coleman's following the back. Cameron Battles is looking for somewhere to go. Chance Davis really blocking up everything. So all the cars behind him are quite a bit faster and looking for somewhere to go. And we got yellow. Nico Heinzel took him 3 wide. Jonathan Davis, Jerry Davis got sideways coming out as he ran into Nico's tire. Kind of turned sideways the whole field, got messed up, and they got T-bone jammed up a good 4 or 5 cars there. So this is something that happens quite often here in these types of races.
Did he bring the tool?
They got the red flag out while they go to clear off the track. No, Nico Heinzel definitely has some damage, lost a fender, but it looks like he's going to stay out. We've got Jonathan Davis, who's stopped in the back. Leon Trydell made it through pretty good. I don't think that he actually sustained any damage, while everybody else got jammed up. Ken Fricke, I think, was at the back of that and kind of got messed up. Looks like they're going to try and give Jerry a push, see if his car's going to run, see if they can fire it up. With these legend cars, what happens is the car goes backwards and the wheels spin the wrong way, and if the driver doesn't get the clutch in fast enough, it will burn out that starter, so it's not possible to fire the car up again. And so they have to replace the starter if they want to start it. So they tend to do a push stop, push it, pop the clutch, see what happens. They're over there checking out Nico's car right now, seeing how it is, but yeah, Jerry's got his door open, so obviously he's okay, but not sure what's happening in regards to his car, if he's going to be able to run or if he's going to have to come out.
I just saw him sideways.
Yeah, they're doing safety checks, making sure that Nico Heinzel's car is good to go.
Once again, your question is which driver was the only one to win a triple award Daytona? He won 3 races during the
They've got Chance Davis up there. Give a little push start, see if they can get Jonathan Davis. See if they can get Jerry Davis's car to start.
Tiger Woods. It wasn't Tiger Woods.
With these legend cars, there's 3 different types of engines that they can run. There's the They're all 3 Yamaha motorcycle engines. There's the XG1250, which is the type of engine that is in these 2 cars that are in tandem pushing each other. There's also the XJ1200, which I don't think any of the cars here today are running that particular power plant. And then there's the FZ09. FZ09, there's several cars in this here, which the FZ09, instead of being a 4-cylinder engine, is a 3-cylinder engine. The advantage that the FZ09 has over the 1250 is that it's water cooled. Hey, it looks like they were able to fire it up. But Jerry is going off of the track. I think they're going to check him out, see what's going on, see if they can get him out.
That's a weird place to go around right there.
Jerry is out of his car inspecting it, trying to see what's going on. Technically, you're not supposed to work on cars under red. However, I guess at this track they don't care about that rule. They're pulling everything apart to see if the car's drivable or not. There's a lot of components in the rear ends of these cars that hold the suspension together. There's a rod that controls the pinion angle, which that can be quite problematic in an impact. It tends to break the rear ladder, which is part of the chassis that holds it together. Also, on these cars, they have 2 trailing arms, a panhard bar, and of course then the suspension. It looks like Jerry's not going.
Get back out there.
Looks like his front end's towed in majorly as well. Typically, the front ends are towed out anywhere from a 1/16 to half an inch in some cases, depending on the driver's preference. So with this much cleanup, the 30-lap race may actually be shortened. Whenever they have a big wreck like this that takes up a lot of time, we tend to have a time limit in order to keep the rest of the events of the evening running on schedule. Tonight we've got a lot of different events. We have modifieds, which you can see right here. Have a modified coming out to get the staging right now. We also have some mini modifieds running. We also, on top of that, we have drift cars out, and they're out drifting along the oval and the infield. You can see all those black tire marks through the infield. Also, they have Stingers and Hornets running. I believe that's the full schedule for tonight. But at this track, we've seen just about anything here. Seen a large variety of different cars. Looks like Jonathan Davis is done for the evening. They're pulling that car out on the forklift, or Bobcat, looks like. So now they'll get that car taken off the track as they continue cleanup. Looks like we have oil or coolant or something down in the middle between turns 3 and 4. They're working on getting that cleaned up. Well, they made a quick adjustment, tried to pop the toe out on Jerry's car, and they're going to put him out. Good. And we will take a quick break, and then we'll come back when this race gets back under green. Okay, we've got cars moving on the track again. Pace car going around. Chance Davis walks to the camper. And Trino. Randy Copeland. Ken Fricky. Cameron Battles, Nico Heinzel, and Jerry Davis. Be interesting to see this put together. Now, some of these tracks they run at choose. I don't know if they're going to run that tonight, but when they come across the line, they're going to have to pick if they want the inside or the outside, not knowing what the other driver's going to do. Also, no radios or spotters are supposed to be used on this track, so there's no extra help. They kind of just got to pick, and they get the luck of the draw on where they're going to actually start. If they're going to start on the inside or the outside. We'll see if they do that here tonight, or if they just line them up in order. Okay, it looks like they're just going to line them up in order. So we're not going to do a choose tonight. Okay, pace car is going to the infield, and we are 1 to go. Now, that was exciting. That was only 4 laps that they got in there. There's a lot more racing to be had tonight. Trying to go to the outside of Kamper. That inside line. Oh, and there goes Nico Heisel around. He's going to stay green until we get to the line. If he can get it fired up, they will keep going. Oh, and no, they are going to call the yellow on that. That's probably due to damage on the front end of that car after being in that wreck. You know, those things just, if you get the front end out of alignment, they are a handful. You cannot drive them. Okay. Okay, he is back on the track and lined up at the back. Now, this really mixed up the field quite a bit. We've got Jerry Davis, who moved up a full 3 spots with that. Roxley Kamper fell down 1 to 3rd place. And Leon took the 2nd place spot. Also, Ken Fricky moved up a spot. But no, it looks like Jerry's going to come out. I think he's not happy. Yeah, Nico Heisel does not have a bumper. He should be coming off. That is actually a safety issue. They should be calling him off the track. That's what Jerry Davis was complaining about. He came out and he was telling the officials. Now that is a major safety issue that could cause some major issues, not only for the driver of the truck, but also for any car that he could get into. Another issue is, where is that bumper? By Irish rules, they are not supposed to have it. And it looks like they're going to go to green. Car charge on the outside. Cameron Battles is moving up. Jerry Davis is sliding back. I think that's competition. Right now, takes the lead. got whatever that debris on the track was off. General safety crews always do a really good job. There are little things that each individual track you worry about, and since most of these tracks are not running only INX events, but multiple sanctioning bodies run the events, you tend to see a mix of what rules get enforced and which do. Also, typically at an INX only event, you will see a division of classes. Well, here they're running all the drivers. You have drivers from as young right now, Roxley, who is 14 years old, but they can start as young as 12, and all the way up into Masters, where you can have some drivers who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s even. Still, this has been a nail-biter of a race. We're only 17 laps in, a little bit past the halfway point. And we're going green. And tricky on the inside. Russell and Kamper trying to make a move pretty wide. Didn't happen. Close call exiting turn 4, probably caught a little bit of that oil still on the track. Oh, and there goes Kamper Battles around. Nice little elbow. And Cameron's not going to get fired up. I think they're going to call a yellow on this one. They don't. That's kind of not a safe position for them to be stopped. They did not. They're staying green. Davis on the inside, but oh, he's losing control. And there we go. Now they finally put out the yellow. That was a late yellow. That should have been called much sooner than when it was. The officials coming out to check out Battle's cars, see what's going on. Now Ken's Fricky's up in the lead now. Take a pull from the starting. He made a great move on Leon. In all the practice sessions, Ken Fricky had the fastest car, probably a full 0.2 of a second faster than everyone else in the field. So now that he's up front with the clean air, it's probably going to be hard for anyone to catch him, and we might see him pull a little bit of an advantage. Kamper Battles has to go all the way to the back for falling down, and they took so long to throw that yellow. I don't know if they're going to be, oh, and we're given a choose now. Russell Kamper took the inside. Looks like Ken Fricky took the outside, which, as mentioned before, typically is the faster line. So here, that was that choose that we mentioned. The flagman, if you notice, he was wiggling back and forth, indicating to the drivers that they had to choose high side or low side at that little mark of paint in the middle of the track where you see those arrows. Before they get to those, they have to choose which side they're going, either high or low. That can be sometimes to a driver's advantage or sometimes to a disadvantage, depending on how they choose. They're getting lined up for good and tight for this restart, and they are green. As mentioned before, that outside line is far faster. That's what we're seeing right now. the outside, losing control, but keeping it in one piece and straight on the track. Well, we lost some debris there. Not sure what that was, but it's probably not going to be a big deal. Wesley Kamper from the outside taking fourth back. Trying to get around his son. We've got a white flag, so this is the last time around. Everyone's keeping straight. Russ Kamper looking to make a move, but not going to happen as Jerry was faster off in the corner. Right now, trying to look to the outside to make it a drag race, but no, it's going to stay lined up. We've got Ken Fricky, Chance Davis, Jerry Davis, Roxley Kamper, Leon Tradell, Nico Heinzel, Cameron Battles, and Randy Copeland coming across the finish at 25 laps. I believe that was called for time. That's it. There we go. As everybody comes back to the pits, Ken Fricky's going to take a victory lap and give his little speech, I think, as everyone comes in. The top four will go to tech. And yeah, we have a good evening ahead of us, as we're going to have all of the fans come in to see the drivers after this race. Okay, top four come to tech. We've got Jerry Davis in the number 3 position, I believe. We've got Chance Davis, and we've got Roxley Kamper in 4 position. Ken Fricky's out giving his victory speech right now. Jerry's a little upset about what's going on, especially regarding the issues with that bumper. There's quite a few things going on, and there's hot attitudes that always happen at the ends of these events. There's a lot of adrenaline and emotion that the drivers experience. So you see a lot of anything happen. And so we've got one of Jerry's sons here talking to him, trying to calm him down a little bit. And we've got everyone else just staying in their cars waiting and see what's happening. So as they tech these cars, they have to meet certain weight requirements, make sure that everything is within the right specs for them, and also ride height, tire hardness, all kinds of things. So that's what they're doing over here right now to make sure that all the rules were complied. Okay, Roxley is through tech, getting back in her car to take it back over to the pits. So you can see the guys that she is driving with are quite a bit older than she is. Okay, so Roxley, you did really well today. You finished 4th. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the race?
So the race went really well. A lot of tough competition, and some choices of mine were incorrect, while others were very good. And I was losing position, gaining position. Towards the end of the race, it got really slick. I mean, if you look at the front, there's stuff all over it. So something is going on with one of the cars in front of me. Although, so was pretty good. Tried a few different strategies. A few of them worked, a few of them didn't. Keeping up was honestly not that hard this time. However, getting around people is difficult because everyone's running that outside line, and if the inside line, my car doesn't stick down there. So I have to run the outside line, but that line is already taken by most people. So the outside line, I'm not going there. That's too close to the wall in my opinion, and also, I don't know, no one drives there for a reason. So I'm not gonna go up there. Though, race went really well.
Great, so Roxley, you finished 4th, and you had the 3rd fastest time of the night. All of the drivers were really within less than a 1/10 of a second of each other in their lap times. It was a really close race. So good job out there. So after the race, fans come down to the pits, get to see everything. Roxley signs autographs for her, the kids. Sometimes we put the kids in the car if there's time, not too many. They get to see what it's all about. A lot of fun. There you go. All the little girls always love to see the pink race car, and Roxley is the idol of just about every little girl that comes to the races with their family.
Alright, so the coolest thing just happened. So this lady came up to us and she said hi, of course, and she said that last year, after she had come to see us at our little pit area, her boyfriend had proposed to her, and before the start of the season, they got married, which is super cool. Well, something kind of happened. So a few trailers over, they were selling puppies, and they were adorable, and got one. I'm still debating on what to call her, but she seems pretty chill. I mean, she hasn't bitten me like the other three did.